What's happening today is a radical form of a women's movement. The idea that we don't need men, that men are always and constantly, once again, the oppressed versus the oppressor. I have news for people that do identify themselves as feminists. Men are not dropped off by the stork. We are the people that have to carry men for 9 months. They are our little boys, they are our sons, they are our husbands. This country needs women to find their voices and to fight for our men. Because what is happening right now is a cultural war on men.
Ladies and gentlemen, I understand that not everybody is going to be in agreement with what Candace Owens has to say based on her politics and things like that. Okay? I understand that. But every now and again, even though I don't really subscribe to people's politics, I could care less. But every now and again, you have to hear what people are truly saying. You have to listen to what people are truly saying. And I think it will shed light on a lot of things that people seem to overlook. You know, I find that people tend to focus on like keywords or certain phrases or something or hot takes, and then they take that particular 2 or 3 seconds of a clip or whatever and make it dramatic as hell, um, instead of listening to the entire context. But what Candace Owens was saying here, ladies and gentlemen, I think that as a man, you have to be on board with her. It doesn't matter what your political beliefs are. And one thing that she said that I really want to take out of this, as far as the key words, is that it's a cultural war against men. Let me say that one more time. It is a cultural war against men. Because if men who travel know this, and you know this wholeheartedly, we just recently talked about it. Men who travel already know this ain't the same vibe that we get when we go abroad. It's just not, right? As opposed to putting us down, men in general, putting us down, not necessarily caring about how we feel, and constantly, you have women that are constantly trying to fight for their own rights, which, like I said, it depends on how you feel about it. That's how, that's your, prerogative. But it seems as though they're fighting so much for this, that, and the other, and equality and all this shit. Then they get it and they still mad. And if there's one thing that I learned, it's like you just can't win. You can't win no matter how hard you try. So to hear Candace Owens saying, yo, man, you got to protect men in general, you just do, probably rubs women the wrong way. But a real person, men or woman or whatever, if you hear the words, there's nothing that she's saying that's out of pocket, right? Women do give birth, right? Men can't do that. So, you carry men, children, sons, husbands, whatever it may be. You know, in my mind, from a man's perspective, you gotta take care of your man. If your man is doing what he's supposed to do, I feel like you gotta rock with him and you gotta care for him, you gotta nurture him. It's just the way that it is. But it seems that all of the pushback, the feminism, the Me Too, and all of that stuff right there, ladies and gentlemen, ladies more specifically, if that's the attitude you want to keep, let me just make sure I preface this. If that's the attitude you want to keep down the line, you're definitely going to see a lot of men, myself included, and all the brothers and gentlemen who watch my channel. You're going to see us just going abroad and just leaving you behind, and with no intention on coming back, right? With zero intent on coming back. Because the culture is pretty much telling us that we are only good for procreation to an extent. That seems to be what men have been reduced to in the Western world. We're nothing more than being basically made for procreation. Like our sperm is the only thing we need. They don't even need the man. They're like, oh, we just need their sperm to have kids, and that's it. And if you reduce a man's role down to just that, you can't be mad if we're going to go somewhere where you have women that are going to nurture and take care of and make sure their man is good. And as a result, encourage their man to do right and do good and follow what they need to do in order to be productive citizens of society or whatever, or to go out there and get that bread, right? Because I'm telling you right now, having a good woman in your corner, don't matter where they come from, is more valuable than any man could ever know. Don't get me wrong, man. Getting out there, getting that money, getting out there, making that money, and making your stamp on the world, and creating your own successes and stuff like that. Even if you have to build it from the ground up on your own, completely awesome. But every man, let me make sure I preface this the right way, because I don't want you to think anything other than what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it, and then we're gonna talk about it, and then I'm gonna leave you with this. Every man has a good woman in their corner. Every man has a good woman in their corner. It doesn't have to be their wife, right? It doesn't have to be their wives. It could be just a young lady that you casually hook up with, a young lady who's just in your corner that has your best interest at heart, somebody who genuinely gives a fuck about you, right? Every man has at least one good woman in a corner, or a significant other if that's the vibe you go with. But every man has a good woman or a good person in their corner. Doesn't even have to be somebody you're intimate with, but there's always somebody in your corner that's rocking with you, that's cheering for you, that's rooting for you, that keeps you pushing forward. And if you come from a society and a culture like it seems my society and culture is shifting to, and you're trying to just basically delete or minimize the role of a man in society, oh, don't be surprised if we rock out and leave the country and go where we feel appreciated, right? Men want to go places where they're appreciated, not tolerated. We talked about that before. And if we rock out and we check the deuces and leave, you genuinely only have the only people you have to blame is yourself. You only have yourself to blame. And this video shows that there are still some out there, some women out there who genuinely have a man's best interest at heart. And I think that's the way we need to keep it. But if women are feeling as though, they have more rights than men and all of that stuff, hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, society is pretty much telling y'all that y'all got more rights than we do. But if that's the vibe, I can't be mad, right? Can't be mad. I just move away. I don't know about y'all. I just move away, right? Because it's not worth it to fight against it, right? There are some battles in life, ladies and gentlemen, that just need to be left alone. Because you're going to have differing opinions on both sides. And if you're tired of fighting, gentlemen, if you're tired of fighting the women and trying to prove the point that you are who you are and you can be who you can be and all of that stuff, if you're tired of it, I think abroad is your next step. Going abroad is your next step. Tell me where the lie is in that. Right? You'll have some people who will try to talk down on you because it'll be like, oh, well, you're just a weak dude and, you just can't handle strong women and, you just can't handle this, that, and the other. And if you knew how to handle women, you wouldn't have to move. But sometimes, guys, the way I look at it, man, it's not worth the headache. It's not worth the constant fight and just disrespect and just headaches that come with, dealing with somebody who pretty much views men in certain ways that they're nothing more than X, Y, and Z. And maybe that's just me. Let me know in the comment section below how you feel, man. Good Doc is out. Peace.